good evening, one and all. Big shouts goes out to all those logged in to FTSN Sports. It's another edition of Cop Talk, our Thursday edition. See Prince there doing some slick movements there, I tell you. Hitting that, see me here, see you now you don't.
Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, one and all. I'm going to say big shouts. How you doing, Prince?
I'm all right. I'm looking about 25 years younger.
Yo, if you did dye the beard, you know.
Nah, man, leave my salt and pepper alone, man.
For ID, bro.
Nah, leave the salt and pepper alone. Leave the salt and pepper alone.
For ID when you get on the bus. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Trust me. Good evening, Stoney. How we doing, sir?
Good evening. I'm fine. Just looking forward to this evening's show.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I bloody ain't. I tell ya. Freaking team. Oh, flipping it. It's a hard one, man.
Oh, that's right.
Gentlemen. FA Cup, 4th round, Brighton. I don't even know where to start, man. Like,
do you know what?
Go on, man.
No, sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
No, you go, Stoney. You go, mate. You go.
It's almost as if we're on a It's almost as I feel like we're on a hamster wheel at the moment. So, you know, it's just like a reoccurring every game we're actually watching. The same things are actually happening. So this is bar the result, okay? But the same things are happening. It's a Brighton game, wanting us to actually get a victory. So for us to actually attempt to actually retain the trophy, but it wasn't to be. And listen, the winning goal was a screamer. So I'm just going to pause there because I don't elaborate too much, and I'll let Preds continue.
Preds.
Now, yeah, you know what? It's at the moment it's hard. It's hard work watching Liverpool at the moment. And you know what? I was trying to think of a word that would describe what's going on at the moment. And as per usual, Stoney, sir, I take my hat off because you hit the nail on the head. It's a hamster wheel that's just going round and round, and it just doesn't seem to be stopping. We started well against Brighton in regards to we scored the first goal. Harvey Elliott done really, really well, and he's we're in this plight. Harvey Elliott is becoming one of the shining lights. But then it's just kind of, Brighton are not easy, and we know this already. They beat us up the week before. They're not easy, but we needed a reaction from Liverpool. Did we get the reaction? I don't know. You got Robbo trying to get the lads geared up again, and it's like it's hard. At the moment, it's hard work being a Liverpool supporter because you're going out there, and it's like I have to wear my my Kevlar bulletproof vest out. I missed one show last week, right? I missed one show last week. Do you know how much pelters I was getting? Oh, yeah, you're not on this week. You went on this week. What's wrong? You're hiding? No, to all of you, I'm not hiding. I'm just, I'm suffering in silence. That's all.
Mr. R&B, nice of you to join us, sir.
Good evening. Just to let you guys know, I'm on my way to Brighton. I'm going to see if I can buy Mitoma.
If you're really getting out there, mate, I hope they stone you. They got a stone beach. They ain't got no sand on their beach. They've got plenty of stones, mate. So be careful, bro.
Tabriz is doing
like Prince, you know. They'll laugh you out of town, mate.
Telling you, bruv. Tabriz is doing a Conway, boy.
Yeah. So all right then. Let's start with this then. I don't even want to go through player ratings, to be honest, because it's abysmal. But talk to me about the team's performance. Liverpool, not Brighton. Liverpool's performance, because for me, to be honest, it's better than what I've seen in the past few weeks. There was a bit more solid than what I've seen in the last few weeks. And we did create a few chances, which we should have taken, to be fair. We can point fingers a bit later, but you tell me what you thought about the performance.
Well, I mean, silence is deafening there, isn't it?
It felt,
go on.
Even though we had the chances, right? ever in control. I think
You
is
froze,
this the
Tony.
third time we've actually played Brighton?
You froze. You froze. Oh, so after you said even though we had the
All right, I
chances,
apologize.
you froze. So
Okay.
start from there again.
Yeah, so even though we had the chances, at no period of time did it seem like we were in fully control of the game. I think this is the third time we've actually played Brighton, and they've actually gone through a series of formations against us. So I think this game they played a 4-2-3-1, and we still couldn't break them down. We still could not break them down. I know we had Thiago, Stefan, and Keita in the middle of the park, and they would have had McAllister and Groster sitting in front of their defense. But we just, apart from obviously Harvey Elliott scored a goal, rightly so. I thought he played really well, but at no stage did I think we're in control of the game. I know Milner started for us, but even over on our right-hand side, our fullback kind of pushing back. So whether that was Milner or when Trent came on, and what was the Uruguayan left back? I can't remember. Is it Uruguayan or Colombian? Begins with Estepina or something like that.
Espinina or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Even, and we'll come to the Brighton players.
Oh, Stoney, you keep breaking up,
We
bro.
couldn't break them down. Not too sure what was wrong with Salah this game. But yeah, very frustrating. Very frustrating. We just seem to be lackluster in every single area of the game there. Tactically as well, we just seem to be lackluster.
Okay. Tabrice.
I know we don't swear on Clock Talk, so I'm going to behave myself. But
we do allow the odd ones and special circumstances, and I'm sure this is a special circumstance.
So we've done everything that we say we haven't done in terms of scoring first. We score first. So really, we should be in control of the game. And if you look at the Brighton team, they have no Trossard. Of course, he's gone to Arsenal. There's Casado, who's literally gone AWOL. They have their second choice goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, they played Steele.
So I'm just bemused and puzzled why. No, actually, I'm not bemused and puzzled. We're just shockingly bad, and I say bad. I'm just trying to taper what I really want to say. But we are really bad, and you are now looking at a team that has no clue. You were looking at Salah, who had maybe one or two chances. He had one chance in the first half, which he actually snatched at, which I cannot understand. It can happen to kind of anyone, especially someone that's not in form. But like he went, AWOL. We are playing Keita, who's going to be out of contract this season. It doesn't make sense. We are literally playing players that are not going to be in a Liverpool shirt next season. I think Milner has to go. I think Gomez has to go. Salah now has to go. Klopp, I don't want to say those dreaded words, but I don't know what he's playing at now. Honestly, I am fearing for like the next 2 or 3 seasons. And again, Brighton, especially that Brighton team, we should have beat them. I'm sorry, like I'm not being pompous or diva-ish. We should have beaten the rust out of them, but it's let me stop talking because literally I got to concentrate on driving.
And Preds.
I think. Look, I think if Salah's effort didn't get cleared off the line in the first half, in the first few minutes, the game could have been quite different. But like Teresa said, we've done something that we haven't done in a long time, which was we took the lead. But prior to that, they had one kicked off the line as well. It just seems when you play Liverpool, it's an NBA game, and we've got no control. And the fact of the matter is, it's quite teams are. I'm just trying to kind of trying to balance whether teams are actually technically playing through us quite easily, or as a defensive unit, are we quite weak in that area? Because on transition of the football, we're so expansive that we haven't got the legs or the distances to cover around. And Brighton's game looked like Brighton's game looks like Klopp has said, right, let's just get back to basics. And we've missed chances. Then we've scored, and then from there you would have hoped that the confidence would have started flowing back through, but it didn't. We kept giving the ball away, and then ended up scoring. Them scoring from a corner. Oh well, the ball came out, didn't it? And then the lad from the midfielder
Lamptey hit the shot and hit the dunk.
Yeah, and it's just like our distances. Kate was nowhere near Lamptey when the ball went out, and like I said, it seems like it's a confidence thing. It does look like a team that we actually doesn't know where we're pulling. Are we pulling left? Are we pulling right? What are we doing? And that's the problem at the moment. People are at 6s and 7s. I get that players are sometimes off form, but you don't get 11, 12 players off form all at once. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like something, and someone keeps telling me, yeah, look, we've got no B game, we've got to change, and we've got to change formation. But you can change formation, but you still got the same players. So it's
okay. All right. So saying that, gentlemen, though, right? So you lot have all said it was a dire performance, this, that, and the other. But do you not think it was better performances than what we've seen in the past couple?
No. I'm not. You know what? No. I'm not. Sorry. Like, I'm not. Like, we should be talking about as long as you participate, then it's cool. No, you know what? I'm a winner. Liverpool are we as fans, we deserve better. We deserve better. If we lose, we lose. That means we are shockingly bad. Sorry, I was literally going to swear. We are shockingly bad. No, you know what? No. There's not one player against Brighton that can come off the pitch and say, you know what? I literally did the shirt justice. Andrew. Let me kind of speak proper because again, I've got to drive. Okay. Andy Robertson, for the second goal, he was at fault. I'm sorry. For the foul, because that was reckless, and how he got bodied before the ball even came to Mitoma. As a defender and as the captain of Liverpool as well, when you kind of look at that type of defending, I hope he watches that and feels ashamed of himself for that, 2 phases of play. There's absolutely no way that we can I cannot answer that question, Archie, and say, it was a better performance, because it wasn't.
Okay.
We lost.
We've got to be
real here.
I'm just going to say good evening to Vinny. Big shouts to Vinny in the chat room. Vinny saying might as well call us Dover because our form has gone off a cliff. And I'm being trolled, gentlemen. I'm being trolled. My old mate, Mr. Tippity, he's an Arsenal fan. He's come on just to poke the beer and have a bit of fun.
Why not? Why?
Because they're top of the league and they're doing so well. All of a sudden, he's decided to turn up now. All right, welcome on board. But that's right. We don't mind, man. That's all right. We don't shim, bro. We don't shim. We're here, bro. We're here.
We just remember.
Yeah, we will remember. All right. Before I go on to Preds and Stoney, I'm just going to say that we had enough chances to win that game and we didn't take them, and that's what happens. So with Elliot, could have had another one. Went through and tried to put it on his other foot again. Could have just rolled it right. Salah, the one where he went through and then he's put it Unbelievable. That's very, very poor miss from him.
Mm.
Very, very poor miss. But we had chances and we didn't take them. Would have put us 2-3 up. We'd have been out of sight then, to be honest. Would have had them they would have had to then really come out at us and would have left themselves open at the back on the counter. And I think it's because we lost that a lot of people are saying that the performance was that bad. From what we've been doing of recently, that actual game, the way that game was actually going, we wasn't actually that bad. And it's one of the times I've actually seen us creating a few more open chances where we've gone clean through. We've not been doing that in a while.
Actually, no. Actually, no. It's bad. It's bad. How can we concede in the 92nd minute? We are talking about international players here. We are, we're not even talking about the kind of offensive side. We're not talking defensively. Like how can we be bullied at a second phase free kick in the 92nd minute? It's poor. It's absolutely poor.
Definitely poor, and it hurts me to say the technique. The goal was nice though. His finish was very, very, very nice. But I completely agree with you, Tabriz, there as well. We should have still remained focused. We should never ever have actually turned off at that moment.
Ah, boy. Vinny
You
says,
know
in
what?
all seriousness, I always said the season would be tough, but even I'm seeing it's greater and task than I thought, talking 2 seasons before we title challenging again, at least.
It's going to be longer than that.
Yeah, I hope it's as soon as that.
Yeah, you know the strange thing is, right? Artie was mentioning about our performance against Brighton. It's strange because you see, when we played against Chelsea, I actually thought our performance against Chelsea was better than it was against Brighton. But I know there was so many conflicting feedback from the forums and the football community that I'm involved in, and they just thought our performance against Chelsea was dire. But I thought our performance, against Chelsea was better than it was against Brighton. So it's strange. And as Artie mentioned as well, if that chance that Salah had on his left hand side, Salah would usually bury that on that side. And it said for Harvey Elliott, his first touch was amazing, but Lamptey just caught up with him so quick and made that tackle. But you're right.
No. The problem was, Stoney, sorry, he tried to put it back onto his other foot. Instead of using his right, he tried to put it back onto his left.
Yeah.
If he'd just used his right, the first touch left it nicely on his right foot, right side of the goals, just rolled it round into the right side of the goal.
Yeah.
He tried to put it on his comfortable foot,
and
that's when he gave Lamptey the chance to come in and make the tackle.
Come back in. Yeah. So you're right. We're looking at the small margins, but the small margins is what used to get us results before. And we're clearly not having it at the moment. Not at all.
Definitely. Like you said, about the Chelsea game, it was a decent, it was a hard working fought game, blah, but we never created chances like that.
Yeah.
Like we did against Brighton, we didn't create chances like that.
The Chelsea game was like a chess game where you got 2 teams out of favour, out of form, and tactically, that it was just a case of right, we're just going to cancel you out. Normally, Liverpool will push the emphasis and be proactive and be on the front foot. It seemed like we were actually quite scared of conceding and losing that game. Where with Brighton game, it seemed like we took the handbrake off slightly, or a little bit more. But then you got to think about, Brighton tactically set up quite well against us because they attacked our spaces, and in actual fact, on the turnover, they was actually better on the ball than that we were. They had final end product. Salah did have chances, but if you're going for the second goal, and I know what Tabriz is going on with, but if you look in the second goal, it's either Brighton's done an absolute weldy of a corner kick routine, or the Liverpool staff didn't do their job in identifying that. Because if you see the free kick, right, Milner's been blocked twice, so it gives the lad a free poke over into the 6-yard box. Our centre halves have got to start asking questions. Why is not one of our centre halves there in regards to getting it, but then they got blocked again. And the lads at the far stick, and he's finished it well.
Yeah.
So
Very well.
yeah. So
Very well.
defensively, we got asked questions, and unfortunately, yet again, defensively, we failed to answer them.
Definitely. Good evening, Mr. B. Nice to have you on board, sir. Mr. B's from the Man United Agenda. Nice to have you on board, my brother.
Red light camera reported ahead.
Red light camera, slow down.
And like another thing, yeah, sorry, apologies. But again, let's not forget. Let's not forget, Fabinho could have been sent off.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He should have been sent off.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
100%.
He should have been sent off.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like that was such a. It was a rush. It was. I don't know even what to say.
Yeah,
We're talking about a Brazilian international here. We're talking about a Brazilian. Like, how can someone like that do something so stupid and idiotic?
Russia blood, man. Russia blood.
Then, but you know what? We don't need players like that at Liverpool, because you know we need players now, senior players and also the younger players, to now actually stand up and actually be counted now. Because you know what? I think against Chelsea didn't want to lose either. So like, you know, it's like, you know what? We just won't attack each other, and we both come out with a point, because then at least, you know, hey, like, you know, the like headline will not be about either team. But against Brighton, a second string Brighton, apart from a couple of players, it's honestly like it's not on. Do we really honestly think that Jurgen Klopp on the Sunday, Monday, or whenever they literally went like back to training and said, you know what, better luck next time, guys. We actually did a little bit more running, but hey, you know what? We'll just try and take the positives. No, you know what? I can't imagine Klopp saying that. And if he does, then you know what? He actually should actually go. Honestly,
I can believe that he's probably gone in and said that. I can believe that, because at the moment, if you go into it's at the moment, confidence is brittle. We know this, and the players are human beings. They go through confidence crises. But at the moment, Klopp has only got that set of players to work with. If you think about going in and smashing them and shouting at them, and think over time, will then start to become a relegation fodder. But at the moment, I do believe that him and his coaching staff have to keep that positivity going and keep highlighting the positives and the good things that we're doing. Because, mate, we can't. It's not like we can go and pluck players out of the air and improve us at this moment. We got a squad. He has to deal with that squad, and yeah, I believe that he is trying to keep my morale and confidence up.
Nah,
so
man, you don't need to be keeping up. You don't need to be doing this. He needs to be getting in and letting them know what time it is, man. These guys want some big money. They're professionals. It's your flipping job.
So,
it's your job. And right now, the fans are feeling cheated.
Yeah. So do you think Robbo's challenge was because he was low on confidence? Do you think?
I'm not talking about individual. You can't talk about individual circumstances. As a whole, as a collective, there is clearly a confidence. There's an issue with the confidence with players. Now, when you're a human being, no matter how much money you're on, if you've got a confidence crisis or your team's not playing well, it's going to impact you playing wise. And no one can tell me that any otherwise. No matter how much money you get paid, at the end of the day, you're still a human being. Yes, you're paid to perform at the top level on a consistent basis, but you got to recognise, and we're not very good at the moment. Brighton are better than us at the moment. Simple as that. There's
about 10 teams that are better than us at the moment.
Yeah, like they played better than us. They're better than we didn't. If we took our chances, it might have been 4-3. 4-3, 5-4. At the moment, our performances, granted, are not good enough. I absolutely agree with that.
There's confidence, there's that confidence, but then there's taking the piss. There's confidence and taking the piss. If you're low on confidence, they always say, just do the basics well. Just do the basics well, and then your literally ability will always shine through. We're not even doing the basics. And again, when it kind of comes into confidence, especially in terms of the kind of offensive side, okay, cool. Salah missed his chance. Everyone misses a chance. Andy Cole missed a hatful of chances. But you know what? At least he created those chances for himself. Salah's not even doing that. So is that low in confidence or just not really? Well, hopefully he's trying, but like me as a supporter, there's literally a lot of them I believe that are taking an absolute mick. And against Brighton, again, it just showed everything that's literally going wrong with Liverpool at this present moment in time. Yes, there's a little bit of kind of confidence crisis, but also as well, I think they're taking an absolute biscuit because they're not doing the basics properly. And again, if you can't go to training every single day, again, they are being paid hand. I don't want to bring money into it, but it is their job. Every single day, they have the decision or the option to do whatever they need to do to literally rectify whatever going wrong. And if the basics are not being talked about and actually being practiced over and over and over again, then you know what, we are being shortchanged. The fans are being shortchanged.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't know in training. In training, we could be doing all these combinations and defending and attacking as a unit, and on the training ground it could look good and they could be full of it. But then it's about the composure and their character in regards to can they replicate that in a game situation. And at the moment, I'm not going to say luck's against us because not luck's against us. Teams are actually outplaying us and playing through us at the moment, and that's my concern. Going forward, we will always have chances, yeah, and that's evident from Brighton game. We missed chances, but we had chances. My overall concern is defensively, as a collective unit, we are a soft touch, where no matter what happens, teams find a solution against us. And they build on it, and they have end product at the moment, and that's a concern as a collective unit. We can't defend.
But like that's got nothing to do with confidence.
Of course it got. Of course it is.
Yes.
No.
If your confidence is low, then your play is going to be low, innit? So you're not going to defend well because your confidence is low.
It's about not doing the basics. It's again, I want to kind of talk about Robbo's challenge in the last couple of minutes against Brighton. That's nothing to do with confidence.
Stoney, have you frozen or are you still here with us?
No, I'm still here. I'm just listening.
Like,
I'm listening.
Literally, that's got nothing to do with confidence. Fabinho's challenge has got nothing to do with confidence. We expect, as those guys are professional players that actually know their positions inside and out, not to make those type of challenges, not to make those like type of split decisions. That's got nothing to do with confidence.
Yeah, but that tackle didn't make us lose the game. That's just why, like, we've got to be careful in nitpicking what's going on in regards to, right, players are out of form, team is out of form, players are making individual mistakes which we're getting punished for. Maybe the Fabinho one, I don't applaud it, but maybe it was just a thing of frustration. If it would have got caught up,
Before that, he'd had a couple touches of the ball and he'd given it away.
Yeah,
a couple of poor touches.
And do we believe that?
I think it's frustration, to be fair.
Yeah, frustration, and and it happens in the game. You get frustrated when you're saying, when Teresa is saying about going back to basics, and you do go back to basics, and that touch is a little bit too much, or your pass is under hit, and you're always trying to get something right and then build on it. And when your confidence is brittle like that, then you're going to get that frustration that comes over. And I don't applaud it. I don't agree with it. But I've as a player, I've played and I've had really bad games, and sometimes, frustration gets the better of you because it's an emotional game, and maybe it shows that he cares, I don't ever for once believe that any of those players have gone out on the pitch and meant to play the way they played over the last few months.
Right, very true, Prej, right? And I'll pick up on that. As you said about being an ex-player and that, and you know what I mean, like you said, you've had bad games. Same here. But one thing I live by is something like that, what Tabri said. One thing I lived by, if my game was off and like my touch was off and it just wasn't happening, my passing was off, whoever I'm marking is not going to have a good game. That is my fallback. So if my other part of my game is not working, whoever I'm marking is going to have a torrid time anyway. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that, yeah, I'm all over him. He doesn't get a moment on the ball, whatever. I'm all over that. You have something else to resort to. And you know what? Going back to basics is just doing the easy things, just doing it and just do it, keep it simple. Right now, all right, Stoney, you've been quiet for ages. I'm not talking about transfers right now because we can't make those transfers right now.
Yeah.
How do we rectify what's going on right now? What do we need to do?
Do you know, honestly, as you said, I think because we've been so consistent with ill performances, I'm actually not too sure. And as Preds mentioned earlier, I don't think it's got anything to do with formations. We could play 5 at the back, 3 at the back, 4 at the back. And I cannot see a solution. And I've never, ever, ever actually felt like this with watching Liverpool. I think we have to admit, well, we're realistic now anyway. The transfer window has closed. So we have to actually play with the squad of players we actually got, whether they're the experienced players, whether they're the players coming back from injury, whether they're the young players. There has to be some form of solution. If not, we are going to end up probably 9th or 10th. And that is a fact. That's a fact. So for me, I'm watching games now, seeing what positives I can take from it to bring into the end of the season and then for next season. So an example may be we may see the continued development of Harvey Elliott or Stefan. We may see the development of Carvalho. We may see Nunes playing a little bit more, consistently. We may see Salah hitting a fraction of the form that we know that he's capable of actually playing. Those are my only positives for the rest of this season, because even if we were to go a run of games, say for instance we won 6 games, that's still going to flatter to deceive. We're still going to have the same problems in the squad. So I'm just watching just to see what positives we can get for the rest of the season.
Okay, so Bingy says he wants to know why the Arsenal man Tipper's trolling us and tuning in. Good evening, Bingy. Nice to have you on board, sir. He knows what he's doing, mate, Bingy. He knows exactly what he's doing. So Vinny says, team is completely and utterly stripped of confidence and belief. I feel that the failed quadruple has had a bigger impact mentally than we could ever thought. It's a mad one. Physically, to 2 teams like Purcell, washed. Oh my days.
But you see even that, which is quite interesting, and that's a good point. What Vinny was obviously saying there as well, and I know we've mentioned on previous stuff the transition to how we ended last season. And, let's be honest, right? We were running on fumes from about April, from last season, but the drop off from last season to this season has been astronomical. Absolutely astronomical. I know sometimes you can't really gauge on how a team's performing in the preseason friendlies, but even our preseason friendlies weren't all that. But we've just started this season absolutely dire, and it's absolutely continued.
Yeah, but
completely
right,
continued.
to be fair, like you said, we were running on fumes. We were, but where's the fresh legs?
I agree with you on that. Do you know something, RT? Right? I know. One of the things you were going to. There's a lot that we've obviously discussed about Liverpool on field, right? And we've mentioned about the transition on field, right? But what about the transition off field? Because for us, if you think of it now, Julian Ward's going to be leaving at the end of the season. I'm correct in saying that, right?
Yeah.
So he hasn't even really lasted over a year from when he took over from Martin Edwards. I think what he's basically said is that he's probably going to do what Pep's done, where he's going to take a sabbatical, right? So he's mentioned that he's not going to be looking for another role anyway. So if you think now, that means we're not going to have a sporting director, right? Now, I'm not saying the man's not doing his job, but part of his role is actually to be looking at any possible players to identify them and put it in the motion so we can actually purchase them, right? So Julian Ward's going to be leaving behind the scenes, all right? Billy Hogan may be leaving as well. He's also our chief executive officer as well. Big problems. Our chief scout, Dave Fallon's probably going to leave. And our head of scouting, Barry Hunt, is going to be leaving as well. There's an issue off field here. Okay. That means our structure that we've been used to having since Klopp's been there, that's gone. If all of those top people that are going to be going involved in recruitment and scouting are going to be moving on, there is an issue. And I wonder if that's why we haven't actually purchased anybody as well. There's a big picture. There's an issue.
Yeah. There's definitely something going on, and I'm not going to, say I told you so, but I think last season I said when Michael Edwards is going, because he's done really well for us in regards to identifying transfer targets and getting them, and he played quite a significant role. Now, when you've got someone like that who's doing real good work like that, you don't let them leave your business. So again, something's happened, whether it's a personal thing for him, I don't know. And now, sorry, who's the new lad? Who's the other guy who's going to be going? You just mentioned him.
Julian Ward's going to be going.
Julian Ward's going.
And he was the understudy to mine Edwards. And really, Klopp was only Liverpool. I shouldn't just say Klopp. Klopp was notified about that in November, and at the moment, there's not even anything in place to say that Julian Ward is actually going to be replaced. So that's what I said. The structure from Liverpool in terms of purchasing is completely gone. That, as he said, there's an issue off the pitch as well. Definitely.
Oh, boy.
Carvalho must be thinking, why the hell did I come to Liverpool? I should have just stayed at Fulham.
Listen, it's going to come good. But you know what? I think we've had some beautiful years with Liverpool. We've had some amazing experiences, right? We've won the league. We've run City very close. In any other given years, we would have picked them. We didn't. Facts. It's as simple as that, right? So we've seen some absolutely wonderful years. I just believe the next 2 years are going to be heart-wrenching.
I kind of want to challenge you there, because...
Please do.
All right, so we've had, let's say, 5 years of
progression.
Of a team that can, progression.
Okay.
We've only won the Premier League once, and then, of course, like the Champions League, we've all experienced that. Let's see. I'm not, I don't want to dismiss that, but Istanbul, you can't get any more emotional than like that final. So let's see, everything else within the Champions League we've done.
Okay. Cool.
It's only we've only won the Premiership once.
Definitely, I agree with you. And you know what you're mentioning, Tabrice, are facts, right? They are facts. And regardless of whether City beat us those other 2 times by 1 point, the fact is we did not win the league twice behind City, twice because of 1 point. So for me, the progression we've actually made under Klopp up until this season, in my eyes, that has been progressive.
Of course.
And also, so that's what I'm trying to say. I'm looking at more the positives. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with the state of our club at the moment, Tabrice. But as I said, if you're looking at progression, we have, we've actually made progress. We've been to finals now. Guess what? Carabao Cup is Carabao Cup. It's a trophy. FA Cup is a cup. It's a trophy. The thing is, for me, when I'm talking about us making progression, we've been in the conversation. We've had people come on our show. We've had people speak to us privately, our friends, disliking us. That means we're irking people. We are in the conversation. So that's, for me, we're making progression. If people weren't talking about us, then we're just not that guy. But we are.
I'm not gonna be that Arsenal when they had the barren years and going, you know what, blood? They're rubbish, blood. I'm not doing that. It's all composure. We're gonna be composed. Yeah, but I agree with what Tabrice said. Yeah, we had a bit of a spell, but we won the Premiership once. And for me, we needed to build on what we had, and we didn't. And now it's making a huge impact on us because some players should have gone.
Yeah.
And I'm still going round. I'm still thinking about Klopp's statement when he said that players haven't come to him to go. Like, that's my one my one critique of Klopp. If you want to be top of the game, and you want to be winning titles, you need to keep it moving. And players have come. They've done their job. Thank you very much. Right? We've all seen big players leave Liverpool, but Liverpool has kept on going.
Tell me how Cancelo, regarded as one of the best left fullbacks in Europe, how Pep can just out him like that, because something's gone on and he's like, you know what? I don't need you at Man City no more. See you later.
Apparently there was a bust up in training between him and Pep.
But again,
Pep benched him, and then he reacted badly. And Pep said, "Yeah, all right, later."
But you see, literally, that's what winners do. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson, even though I don't even want to talk about that man. But again, like, when certain players like step over that kind of respect line, they are gone. Tell me how Keita can be probably one of the most active players this year when his contract is expiring. I've never seen this guy even I'm thinking, right, like, the man's starting again. But like, so has he signed a contract? No, you know what, like, he's gonna go in the summer. So why the Rice are we playing him?
Tabriz, I agree with you, but you know it is. We have nobody else. So it's not. I'm not saying he's the answer, but we have.
You know, bring in the youth, like, bring in someone that literally deserves the opportunity. Why are we playing a player that's going to walk away from Liverpool for free?
Because he's still contracted to the club.
But he hasn't asked to leave.
He's still contracted to the club, Tabriz. We have nobody else to play.
Yes, we do. We have Curtis Jones, even though I brush him. We have Curtis Jones.
Listen, I've said it on previous show. The only thing about Curtis Jones is he shape up. He don't do nothing else. He just
looks the part. You understand? That's all he does, bro. He looks like he spends every day in the barbers.
He's got a huge amount to prove, that Curtis Jones. One, he's a local lad, right? And you know, he's got so much more to prove. But I think we've got to be careful in regards to the balance, right? Where at the moment, you've got Stefan in there and you've got Harvey Elliott in there. If you stick another couple of youngsters in there, you might actually have a detrimental effect on their progression and their development, because we're in the high profile games here. No matter how we're playing or where we are in the league, playing Liverpool is a high profile game. You can't stick youngsters in there and say, right, you go and play, because if it doesn't work, you've potentially stumped their career for a few years, because if they have a wrong un, you're not bringing them back in. You know, so we've got to be careful what we do.
He says we're a laughing stock. No one fears us. Even teams in the Ryman League would want to play us right now.
But you know what? For me, I like that. I actually like that. I like actually now, as you said, we've made that transition where people don't respect us. They don't fear us. You know, that's good. Let us be the underdog now, and let's really see what grit and determination we actually have. It's fine. I don't mind that. As I said, for me, it's an easing off period. Easing off.
Okay.
So we don't have no grit, man. We don't have no grit. We don't have no determination. We lost against Brentford and we could have lost against Brighton. That, you know, those are two teams where you can't just turn up and just think that you're going to roll over. Or literally, both that teams are gonna just roll it over. It's those type of games where, like, you are looking at certain players and say, okay, you know, now show us what you have. We know what you've got, you know, in terms of techers and literally ability. Let me see your character. And none of the Liverpool players against Brentford and against Brighton showed any kind of character or bottle.
Okay. So Vinny says, Tabriz, you raised some really strong points, but that's why it must be mental. It's the only logical explanation. Amonde Juma, good evening, sir. Nice to have you on board. He's another one from the Man United agenda. Good evening, guys. You ain't got the answers, Stony Sway. Love the cop talk. Press the like button. That's right. You were successful based on energy. Your midfield clearly ain't able to be as dynamic as the title Champions League sides. Thiago and Elliott ain't suitable, in my honest opinion. Ooh.
And that's something that we've mentioned previous shows as well on Monday, and that's a really good point. All right, so when Klopp came, we had more of, that they mentioned about the high tempo midfielders. So we did have Thiago, we did have Fabinho, we had Henderson and Gini that were able to actually cover ground. But what transition have we seen over the last few years? We've seen when Gini moved on, we would have had Fabinho, Henderson, and then we had Shaqiri. Shaqiri would have offered us something a little bit different in midfield, that bit of creativity. Not as much creativity as when we had Coutinho, but he was a little bit more creative. And then I think what Klopp's attempted to do is replicate that with Harvey Elliott. We know Harvey Elliott in the midfield, right? But he's tried to replicate that with Harvey Elliott when he plays over in that right side in midfield. So to say that he's a one-track pony, I disagree. I think he's tried to make the transition and change the way we're actually playing. At the moment, he's been unsuccessful. And it's not just because of the tactical, but as we've mentioned in previous shows, it's to do with the personnel as well.
Yeah, I think I think he wanted to change kind of the way we're playing from that energy-based platform that we've got. And then you can see with the signing of someone like Thiago. Thiago doesn't fit that mold of, the midfield three of Fabinho, Ronaldo, and Henderson. They were just energy, organised. They worked hard for the team. Thiago worked hard for the team, but he's a different flavour. He's got that little bit of finesse in regards to wanting to pass, and maybe it's just players around him are not probably on his level in regards to the passing and creating chances. We are trying to pass the ball, admittedly, rather than going direct. But you got to remember, at the moment, Man City are better than us at doing that. Arsenal at the present moment are better than us at the moment in regards to that. So this transition period, they have to get on board. They have to find solutions very, very quickly. Otherwise, we could be in a situation where we won't be in a position to compete for the top four, let alone the title in the next 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so video agrees. It says yes, Stoney, office politics. And Bingy saying, Prez, I have more than one gripe with Klopp. And one day saying to Brees is well animated tonight. He's loving that. Yeah, I bet you are loving that, mate. I bet you are. Klopp is moving like a fussy. All these excuses are pathetic. When do you see us, Stoney? When do you see us making teams for us? As it won't be this season.
100%. Bingy, I agree with you 100%. And that's what I'm saying. This season's just a flat line. So 100% I agree with you. It's definitely not going to be this season. Because if you think of it like this, all right, and let's be honest, all right, the competitions that we're still in, we're not going to win the Premier League. However, we play in the Premier League, all right. So we're out of the Carabao Cup, we're out of the FA Cup, so we're in the Premier League still playing, and we're in the Champions League. And I think we have to really be honest. The majority of teams that we're currently playing in the Premiership are all strong. Do they fear us at the moment? No. I think Bournemouth are going to relish playing against us. And I also think someone like West Ham or even up until Everton with their new manager is going to relish playing against us. How we perform against Real Madrid in those 2 games, guess what? We don't know. We have absolutely no idea. We have absolutely no idea at all. So I'm saying at the moment, we play them. However we perform, we perform. We want to win. If we don't, at least we need to put in a shift. At least we need to put in a performance. And I think that's all I would like for our team at the moment.
I think with Madrid coming up, I think that's all we've got in the locker at the moment. Just putting a shift in, put a shift in, and you know what, we might get a break, and we might actually do something.
They've got our number.
I think a lot of teams got a number.
Right
got
now,
it on speed dial, man.
Right now, for me, our next 2 games are crucial, man. Wolves and flipping Everton. Losses in them games, it's going to be detrimental.
They could all end up being 2 draws. Because look, if you think Sean Dyche going there now, he's going to completely change the dynamic of how Everton are going to be set up and playing against us. We are going to be expected to actually go at Everton. I think it is as simple as that. We're going to be expected to go at Everton. Whether we can break them down, we'll actually see. But you know,
Sean Dyche will have them up for it, mate, because you know he
yeah,
don't
definitely.
like Klopp.
And
He
it's
don't like Klopp. He don't like Liverpool.
We're at home. We are going to be expected to actually win that derby. So you're right. The 2 next games are very, well, all of our games are important, but very, very, very important.
Very important.
Come on, boys. We've got to be it's bad. Yes, it's bad, but you know we've got to this is why we're here. This is to share and air our opinions and our
Exactly.
grief.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
but they're not making me feel
and our
better.
woes.
They're meant to make you feel better. They're not making me feel better. It's
I
just
know.
The good thing is we don't
bringing
hide,
out even more issues.
but which is good.
Only just want to put out a whole heap of politics.
No, it's good because you know it
Jeez.
does. There's so much rationale, and that's what I've said in previous shows as well. Liverpool's current state is complex. It's not just about the players. It's not about the old players or the players that we've got on loan or the players that ain't no good or the players that are signing contracts that ain't meant to be signing contracts or our forwards that ain't scoring or our defenders that ain't defending our midfield that can't run from here to the bus stop. There's so much other stuff that's actually happened, and it's a complex issue. So, you know, it's
Really
there.
says
You have to talk about it, embrace it.
Up until now, we've been one of the top 3 clubs on the planet for the last 5 years.
But then what I keep going back to it. I agree with that, but then surely the management and the management and the owners of the Liverpool Football Club would say, well, right, we've got this 5 years where we've been really good. Teams have feared us. We've not feared anyone. We've gone in there. We've gone and smashed teams. We've run Man City to the title. You know, we've won Champions League. Right, let's build on it now so we can continue this. No. And it's just I think I've frozen.
So no. So is it a case then of FSG not backing the manager? So if that's not what you want to do, move on.
Listen, as I said once again, I'm not saying FSG are the shining light, right? But we have to be careful here, you know, because we don't know where us around the corner. Have FSG put money into the club? The answer is yes, right? Have they put as much money as we wanted into the club or the right areas? Possibly no. I don't think there's any football supporter, any Liverpool football supporter right now that would disagree to say our stadium right now is in a much better position than it was before FSG took over, right?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
even if they haven't put as much money as we wanted to, and let's be honest, there's no way that we could have purchased a new stadium with Everton getting a planning permission on the docks anyway. So we would have had to have stayed at Anfield and redevelop it. So they've actually put money there. Would we have liked more money there to invest in our players? Yeah, but you know the other side of it sometimes is that what football is about. Us having money and purchasing way more players than everybody else and not developing sometimes what we could in the club. Tabrice and Pred said something absolutely amazing. I think it wasn't last show, it was 2 shows before, right? And they were mentioning about clubs like Brighton, whereas they're able to purchase players in for a certain value, they develop them and they sell them on for another price. Why don't we have that structure in our club? Why aren't we recruiting those type players to actually come to Liverpool? Bearing in mind, we have a very, very, very large scouting network, by the way, over 30 scouts. So the fact that we're not actually able to bring in those type players to make the value increase and sell them on, whether that's not a model or not, that's something that they may need to look at because we don't do it. What players have we purchased at a short value and then they've increased and we sold them for lots? Bar Coutinho. Nobody. Facts.
I think Artie said it weeks ago though. Artie said it weeks ago though. In respect of that, we just haven't. We should have people coming through, the players coming through. and we haven't got these players coming through. We are a club that historically have brought in players, and we've not included them straight away. We've given them some breathing time to blend them into the side. And that's what Artie said. We've lost that structure in regards to we haven't gone out and got young players like you're saying, Stoney, and there's no pressure to play them straight away, but ease them in, and that becomes a better. We've seen that structure being implemented, and it's worked. So why is it all of a sudden stopped?
Lots and lots and lots of questions, people. Remember, hit that like, subscribe. Lots and lots and lots of questions, man.
There's so many question marks. It's like
more questions than answers.
It's and it's good. So when, as I said, when people do speak about our current situation, it's not that simple.
Yeah,
it's not.
Mr. B says Virgil is a massive miss, although he was shit before since his return from injury.
Fair enough. That's just one player.
Yeah. He said it's not bad, it's beautiful. Yeah, he's loving our demise for now. Yeah. Of course he is. Okay, I hear you, Prez, but there's no positive light at the end of the tunnel this season.
There is if we don't get relegated.
He goes on to say FSG out with exclamation marks. I want them gone now. Thanks for what you've done, but it's time to off.
Who's upset Bingy this evening?
I know Bingy's like
who's upset Bingy?
And he said, look, those 30 scouts.
Somebody's upset Bingy, man.
Like Bingy, they'll be left at the club if you had your way, mate.
Bingy. Listen. Woo-saw, bro.
Woo-saw. Bingy's getting rid of everybody, bro.
Bingy, but you know what though? Bingy is hurt. Bingy, like the rest of us, Bingy is hurt, and this is the platform where if you're hurt, you come and speak, right? Because we're all in it together.
So hurt, he wants to start. He doesn't even want to talk about pool no more. He just wants to start the quiz. Oh my gosh,
excellent.
A thing I was going to say about FSG though, and that as well, is that I've seen reports and that about FSG and them lot spending 165 million on one baseball player.
Okay, so you see, even with that, they're probably in the same situation as probably the Glaziers or the gentleman that's taken over at Chelsea, right? For part of the Fenway Group, we are one of a multiple amount of businesses for them. These guys just see us as a ripple in the ocean of all of the businesses that they've actually got. So I agree with you about spending whatever they did on that baseball player. We're just another project, really. And when that project reaches their goal, then they'll be sold and they'll actually move on. So I mean, we're all aware that they're probably looking at the pricing of our club, how much we're actually valued at. Is that going to make a difference when the new owners come in? Look, we have absolutely no idea. I don't have a crystal ball. It may be underneath the same situation. It may even be worse. So as much as we're saying we're not, probably truly comfortable with how FSG are, we don't know what's around the corner. We may get in. Who was it that owned our club before?
Is it Gillett and Hicks?
Gillett. We may get another. We may get another owners like them. We never know.
Yeah. That's why I say. I think we've got to be a bit wary when people saying out FSG out. I agree with you, Stone, in regards to our infrastructure has got stronger, and they built that. I know. No, you know what? I'm not going to let him affect. I'm not going to let him affect me. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Look at Tabrice's face, bro. You look like a Crime Watch picture, bro.
Oh, goodness gracious! It's good. That means it hurts. It hurts. It's good.
Of course it does.
It's good.
Of course it does.
But Tabrice is also good to talk. I prefer it when
you didn't have your picture on, bro. Seriously, you didn't have your picture on. You're turning people off, bro.
Yeah, turn off, mate.
Bloody hell, Tabrice, man. My man, he said I've been upset for months. You're useless. And Brent, I'm gonna go try that now. Yeah, no,
I feel your pain, man.
It's depressing, and it's not even like where you can see where all right, it looks like we're gonna turn a corner. That's another thing as well. There's nothing to look forward to at the moment. When we play Everton with Dice, cheese and bread, that game going to be so amazing and exciting to watch. Makes me wish I was Stevie Wonder in front of a TV.
But you know, I think the thing is in you know being realistic, right? Even if we were to beat Wolves and then we were to beat Everton, we're still gonna have the same issues that we currently have. So that's what I said for me. This season's just about riding it out.
Yeah, the season is dead.
Mm.
Even Biggie says for Reese's face has got him cracking up. It's all right, gentlemen. On a real, where do you think we're going to finish the season?
Where do you think we're going to finish, or where would you like us to finish?
No, where do you think we're going to finish? Where do you think we're going to finish?
I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm going to go first. What league? What position do you have to qualify? Not to qualify for the Conference League, is it 9th? I think it's 9th, isn't it? Is it 7th?
You're on mute, Tabrice. You're on mute.
We're gonna finish 9th place.
Tabrice, you're depressing me, brother. Tabrice is
depressing, bro.
I'm looking at that face.
It's making me think about going and get a bottle of pills or something.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna finish 9th.
Okay. Tabrice, can I ask you, bro? Is that all right? Tabrice.
He's not listening to us, no boy.
No.
We should have been laughing, but
listen, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah.
It's my mantra, but if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Tabrice, where are we going to finish this season?
I have a funny feeling that we'll probably finish 6th or 7th. I would love us to finish 10th.
Okay. And Preds.
I want us to finish as high as possible. I see us having a bit of a snowball effect in regards to we're going to have a big fight towards the end of the season, and we're going to probably finish about 5th.
Ooh. Vinny says, to be honest, the centre-back is another issue that's being glossed over. VVD ain't the same. That injury ruined him. I watched you guys grinning like Cheshire Cat last season. Had all that chat. Now I'm the one grinning. What you grinning for? You ain't won nothing yet.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, you're grinning and you ain't won nothing yet. You see them guys, them pre-cum guys. What you are, bro? You see the girl, she goes to take off the clothes. You know what I mean? These pre-cum dudes, bro. You haven't won nothing yet. Stop grinning. When you've got something in your, you know what I mean? Then that's when you can grin, bro.
To be fair, Man United's always
there's no positives, no new owners, no players, no form, no nothing.
I tell you what, should we just lock up and just walk away now, shall we?
It's making me think I wish I never did it today, man. I wish there was a technical issue. And then Tabrice comes on with that flipping face that's long like a day's work.
His boat races as long as Brighton's Pier.
I'm telling you.
God, blimey. I tell you, it's hard work trying to keep the morale up. I'm telling you. But listen, I'm going to keep plugging away. Don't you worry about that.
Mr. B says he's just grinning at our pain.
Good.
Okay.
Mr. B can't wait for Liverpool to get back on blob so we have that, that competitive there. Man United are missing us, man.
Oh, God.
We'll be back soon. Don't worry about that.
And even in our darkest steps, you couldn't beat us how we beat you. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true.
We gave you that smoke.
And you know,
at your place as well.
Go on, Tabrice.
You know what, United are like wanking with a condom. Like you can't feel nothing. Like they're just yeah. Like I don't know why like they're even talking.
I know.
Honestly,
I know.
seriously.
Mm. The Manchester United's level of success is purchasing a player for £2 million and speaking about him like he's prime Ronaldo. That's when you know that Manchester United are just a bunch of jokers, and that's why I laugh all of the time. So I'm glad that Manchester United supporters are happy and they think they have
what
to
is that,
shine.
bro?
Laurel and Hardy, is it?
Why am I seeing Ferguson on your cup, bro?
This is
I thought it
Kenny
was Laurel and Hardy.
No, this is the Kenny Dalglish's face when Liverpool scored their 5th goal at Old Trafford, and this is Fergie's face when he let in the 5th goal.
Yeah, do you know what? As funny as that is, I still don't want Ferguson in my yard, bro. Unless I'm throwing darts at it.
No, man.
It's target practice.
Yeah, but this
I don't want him in my yard.
Yeah,
it's your fault why we're doing bad, you know. You're the bad omen, bro.
No, man. This face, no, the bad omen is
get it out the yard.
Players.
I'm telling you, watch what happens. Get it out the yard.
Didn't you not see the face on Sky with this face when we scored the 5th goal?
Did you
not see right? And did you not see that face?
Let it stay on Sky, not in my yard.
No, mate. It's telling you, it's an omen. We're going to get back again. Don't worry.
Get that out.
No.
Don't have it in their house, mate. I respect that, Prince. I'm going to try and have your optimism.
That's good.
You got to. Listen, football, it's football, and us football supporters are very fickle in respect of when it's going really well, we're up there. When we're not doing too bad, we're not doing too well, we're like, come, look what's going on.
But right now, I can't say that we're fickle because it's not like 1 result, 2 results. This is major.
Isn't sometimes and we've used this word quite a lot, isn't that what a transition is about?
Of course.
That transition doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be successful, you know. That transition it could possibly mean for the next couple of years it's absolute turmoil. So, you know, we just have to ride it out. And as you said, the last 5 seasons may have been the highest bit of success that we've seen in a few years, and we may not see that again for another 2 years. We just have to ride it out. Supporters, this is what happens. We always want us to be successful. We always want to be up there winning silverware, but in reality, it's just simply not going to happen. Talk to us, Tabrice.
Tabrice can't even look at the screen, bro.
Oh gosh.
It's just painful to watch, to be absolutely frank. Yes, Tony, I do believe, yes, you know, it's a kind of transition that's happening right before our eyes. But I think Prez said it at the end of last season. I remember saying it's like, if we don't replenish the squad, then something like this is going to happen. Okay, it might, it may take 2 or 3 years, but is Klopp going to stick around for 2 or 3 years to actually see that fruit? That's the thing.
Well, it depends. If they're backing him to rebuild the squad, then there's no reason why he shouldn't. If they're backing him. And also, as a person, I would like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Also,
That's
I wouldn't
true.
want to go out like that. I definitely wouldn't want to go out like that. I want to challenge myself to try and rebuild that and show that we can become a force again.
Yeah. Preds, your mic's gone.
Oh, there we go. I think he's got credit in the bank, and he's got to be given the chance. Me personally, it's my own opinion. I would love for Klopp to be given the opportunity to replenish the squad and go again. Whether he gets that time, because we're in football and no football doesn't. People don't wait around for too long when you're not doing particularly well. No matter how big your name is. You know, it's all about Liverpool Football Club at the end of the day. And if we're not competing if we're not competing at the right end of the table, like Liverpool Football Club should be doing, foreign and domestically, then
Mm.
the owner's got a decision to make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can't continue that long. Trust me, that's one thing.
Mm.
Can't continue that long. But you have to then look at also like Arsenal as well. They weren't doing it for a while until they got the right man and they gave him time to come in and now look.
Sure.
Yeah, but you know, with football, things moves in cycles, and I think that's a brilliant thing about the Premiership is that not one team's out there to dominate that league. There's actually three now. At the moment, there seems to be three, maybe five teams who could potentially, be in that top 4 or 5 for the next 2-3 seasons.
Sure.
And Liverpool, at the moment, are not in that top 5.
Well, we're window shopping right now, man.
Everybody and their dog is strengthening around us.
Yeah, so it's one of those where look, we've had this blip, we've got in the new players, and I still believe our best form of defence was in attack. And if you see from our our press from the forwards, it just simply doesn't happen anymore, and which puts a little bit more pressure on everyone else. And anyway, we're going through the technical bits. I would like to see
that was Harvey Elliott.
Yeah,
running like a madman, and I saw him one time run clean from the right hand side and chase the keeper clean over to the left, while the others just stood like Gakpo and Salah just stood behind him watching.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, and if you remember, Mane was doing the same things, but then at the same time, when he was running, chasing down the goalkeeper, Firmino would be moving into a space to block off and shield that little ball into the defensive midfielder. Salah will then tuck inside, ready for that ball to go back out, and he can then be. We just worked like clockwork, and when your forward line are moving like clockwork, your midfield can get your distances, and your back four can then push up forward. But when at the moment there is simply not enough pressure at the back, and people are enjoying playing against us. You give players time, they will exploit you, and we are giving teams time to exploit us.
100%, 100% agree. All right, gentlemen. On that note, and Tabrice's face is depressing me.
Sorry.
You're making me feel like I'm gonna go and do a Kurt Zuma on the cap, bro.
Sorry, honestly, I am like this is actually my upbeat face because I think
wow.
if we
I'll tell you what. Do us a favour, then, mate. Don't crack a smile.
Serious. Nah, for real. So, next games is Wolves and Everton. All right, gentlemen. How do we see these games going then?
Wolves, are we away? We're at Molineux?
Yeah, we're away to Wolves.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we went to Wolves in the FA Cup, when we won the game, so that's a positive. All right, even though
they're starting to look a bit harder to beat now.
Yeah, they are.
The manager's he's been there a few months now. He's starting to get a little system going, and they're looking at a lot harder to beat than it was a few months back. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and the thing is, he looks like a manager who's well suited to Wolves as well. Like he creates tough nuts to crack. I know he had his opportunity at Real Madrid and didn't go particularly great for him, but yeah, he's one of those again. Could be a surprise package.
And they have got a very good midfield. That's what
we
know.
Yeah, they have.
We know.
I see us drawing both games.
Okay. Stoney?
We're coming away with a victory. The performance is not going to be good, but we're coming away with a win.
I like that, Stoney. I like that.
Both games. Both games we're coming away with wins. The performances ain't going to be nice. We're not going to be happy with the performances, but we're coming away with 2 wins.
Well, that's it, lads. Now we're definitely shaking because Stoney never gets a prediction right.
I know, never gets
it. Really shaking now, lads. That's it. We got flipping President's Obia Cup and flipping Stoney never get a prediction right. Tabrice and his long face.
Oh,
Freaking
God.
hell. We're just putting everything out into the universe that's just not going to work for us. Tabrice, what's going to happen?
I think we'll lose one of them and draw the other. I don't know which one.
All right, before we go, last we're going to say, Vinny said, I can remember saying we need more teams to challenge City with us. Never thought it would be Arsenal. I'm saying, come on, City.
See, and that's what I said. We have to be careful what we wish for, innit?
Yeah, damn right.
Obia Cup.
Yeah, looking President's Obia Cup, lad.
Yeah,
Look at that Ferguson in your yard, fam.
It was a good idea at the time, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. And now look. Yeah. They built the Titanic. They thought that was a good idea at the time. Anyway. Anywho, peoples. We will most definitely back. Do remember, it is all about Cop Talk. Full-time network sports, sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. Remember, you can always catch us here on a Thursday at 10 o'clock. And if we're not feeling as depressed as Tabrice looks, you might get another show out of us as well.
I'm actually happy, guys. I'm actually happy.
Yeah. I know. We can see that, mate. I'm telling you.
Let your face know that, yeah?
We must send a message to your face to tell it that, yeah? We are going to say good night and God bless and thank you very much for having us. Thank you for being part of the show, my peoples. Tabrice, I don't know if I want to thank you for coming on. I should have left the camera off. It was much better that way, I swear to God. Trust me. Yeah, that's much better, man. Much better. Tabrice, thank you very much, my brother. I know you took a lot out because he was at work, coming from work, and he still made it onto the show. So maximum respect for that, Tabrice, man. Bless, bro. Stoney, my brother.
Thank you very much. As you said, listen, I look forward to this show every single week. It may not, my opinions may not be what everybody wants to hear, but it is what it is. I like talking about football. I like talking about Liverpool.
It's your opinion, bro.
So, just thanks everybody for tuning in once again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And from me, as you said, just wanted to thank the panel again today.
Yep. Big shouts, Mr. Preds.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody because, I mean, if we didn't get a chance to not... Well, woo, smooth. You know what? I just want to thank you because if I didn't have this platform to speak and air my grievances, then I'm sure that I'd probably have a face like Tabrice's. So, thank you very much, and God bless to everyone out there. Be safe.